Brilliance Audio presents The Prince and the Prosecutor by Peter J. Heck, performed by Will Damron.
William, someone is calling you on the telephone.
I looked up in surprise at my mother, who had interrupted my leisurely breakfast with this remarkable announcement. Until then, I had been dawdling over my coffee and reading a newspaper. "Really?" I said. "I wonder who it could be." The telephone had been installed in my parents' home in New London only a few months before, shortly after my graduation from Yale in 1890-something. Having left home very soon thereafter, I had never before gotten a telephone call at home. With a feeling somewhere between excitement and anxiety, I arose from the dining room table and walked out to the front hallway, where the instrument had been mounted on the wall near the foot of the stairs. I picked up the earpiece and spoke into the conical black tube. "Hello? Are you there? This is Cabot. Who's calling, please?"
"Wentworth, is that you?"
came a familiar drawling voice, recognizable even over the telephone as that of my employer, Mr. Samuel Clemens, a writer and lecturer of some repute.
"I've hung around this blasted telephone office half the morning trying to get a hold of you. You'd think they give faster service for what they charge for long distance. Good thing there's only one Cabot with a phone in New London, or the operators would never have found you. I was about ready to give up and send a telegram, except I hate cramming my whole damn message into 10 words, and I'd still have had to wait for the answer. How'd you like to go to Europe?"
"Europe!" I exclaimed. "When do we leave?" In the capacity of traveling secretary, I had recently accompanied Mr. Clemens, who was better known to the public under the pen name Mark Twain, on an extensive lecture tour of the Mississippi Valley, New Orleans, and the South. The tour itself had been a great success, with overflow crowds in every town where we stopped. Upon our return to New York, Mr. Clemens had proclaimed himself satisfied with my performance of my duties, paying me a bonus of $100 above my salary for the tour. But it had been over a month since our return. I had sat idle for all of September and into October. True, I had spent a few hours each day working on my notes of the tour, with the notion of turning them into something publishable. My father, who had expected me to follow in his footsteps and take up a career as a lawyer, kept dropping hints about coming back to the real world and taking up respectable work. It did not in the least impress him that I had found employment with a famous writer, or that I was meeting important people in the world of literature. So the invitation to accompany Mr. Clemens to Europe came as something of a godsend.
"I've talked Henry Rogers into sponsoring a European tour starting in November," said Mr. Clemens. "I reckon I can wrap up my affairs here in a week or so and jump on the first boat leaving after that. If you can come on down to New York by Monday, I'll have plenty of work for you. And maybe this time we can manage to take a trip without anybody getting murdered."
"I certainly hope so," I said. One of the unexpected duties of my position as Mr. Clemens's traveling secretary had been my participation in the resolution of 2 murder cases, one that began in New York and came to its conclusion aboard a Mississippi River boat, and another involving 2 deaths among the New Orleans aristocracy.
"I'm in the Union Square Hotel again," said my employer. "I'll tell them to reserve you a room starting Monday night. Pack your trunk. We'll probably be gone right up till spring. And if you know any French or German or Italian, brush up on it now. I reckon we'll see most of the continent before we're done."
"I'll start packing right away," I said, excited that my dreams of foreign travel were at last about to come true. "Look for me mid-morning on Monday." I broke the connection and turned to see my mother standing behind me, a sad expression on her face. Her arms were folded across her bosom, and she had on an old dark blue dress that in the dim light of the hallway seemed to emphasize her melancholy. "So, you're leaving again," she said quietly. "Your father will be very disappointed, William."